Tonight, we dig into the new reporting that, frankly, we haven't had time to share with you yet this week. There's been a lot going on. And this is really about something important in our system of government. So I want you to tune in here and really see what we're about to show you, because it's independent judges who are doing the fact-checking, and it ain't pretty. Let's start in the key city of Philadelphia, which captivated the nation as all those ballots were being counted at the big board. Well, Biden's margin there is now too large for Trump to overcome with any of these cases. But they still went to court claiming that some observers were excluded from the counting room. So let's go right into court. This is real, what I'm about to read to you. A judge then asked the Trump official there, the lawyer, well, are they in that room or not? And the Trump lawyer spins by saying, well, the observers were not being given equal access to the room. And the judge cuts right in to hit to the real question. Are they in the room? So what's happening in this moment in court is a Trump lawyer trying to spin an independent judge and learning that it's harder to lie in court than at, say, a White House briefing. So the lawyer says, well, there's a non-zero number of people in the room. And the judge just shreds that, says, quote, non-zero number of people? I don't know what that is. And then puts on the heat on this poor lawyer by citing their oath as a member of the bar of this court. Now, violating that can get a lawyer in trouble or even in jail. And the judge says, point blank, are there Trump observers in the room or not? And the Trump lawyer admits yes. And the judge then ends this whole charade saying, I'm sorry, then what's your problem? That's a rough day in court. Now, again, this case wouldn't change who won anyway, but when your lawyer's having that much trouble with a judge, you have a problem. I mean, my opinion, this was getting pretty close to my cousin Vinny territory.
How do your clients plead?
My clients are caught completely by surprise.
What are you telling me? That they plead not guilty?
No, I'm just trying to explain.
I don't want to hear explanations. There are only two ways to answer it, guilty or not guilty.
But, Your Honor, my clients didn't do anything.
Once again, the communication process is broken down.
Now, I'll be fair, of course, any lawyer could have a bad day somewhere in some oral argument, but this problem I just showed you in Philly, this is not isolated for the Trump team. Take Pennsylvania. The campaign sued to stop the counting of alleged irregularities. Or take Montgomery County, a different courtroom where a judge is pressing the Trump lawyer that he's not even claiming that any of these board electors were found guilty of fraud. The Trump lawyer starts by dodging. Your Honor, accusing people of fraud is a pretty big step. The judge is not having it, responding, I understand. I'm asking you a specific question. I'm looking for a specific answer. Saying to the Trump lawyer, are you claiming there is any fraud with these 592 disputed ballots? Oh, there it is, America. The big question. We have a sitting president tweeting about fraud. We have a campaign filing actual lawsuits about fraud. And the judge is doing what judges are supposed to do, getting at the questions and the evidence. So is there any fraud in what is still a tiny sliver of ballots there? And his Trump lawyer is under oath. Let's look at the answer together. The lawyer responds, to my knowledge at present, no. There it is. No fraud, no knowledge of fraud, no evidence of fraud from even the people suing about it. Now let me take you to Michigan, where Trump allies lost a very absurd lawsuit that just asked a judge to stop counting votes in Detroit. Then they tried to stop certification of some results, and the judge honestly just bodied that claim, finding it was mere speculation by Trump's side to claim, quote, hundreds or thousands of ballots have in fact been changed and presumably falsified. That claim failing because Trump's lawyers made only a claim, the judge notes, but have offered, here it is again, no evidence. Now, many of these accounts are coming clearly from court transcripts, as you see. We also have tape of an actual courtroom moment in Michigan when a judge had to basically take a Trump lawyer back to law school to distinguish between admissible hard evidence and inadmissible hearsay, stuff you can't use in court because you're just repeating something secondhand. And yes, repeating things that other people say that aren't true, maybe that gets you a retweet. It doesn't go far in court. Listen.
I'm still trying to understand why this isn't hearsay. I heard somebody else say something. Tell me why that's not hearsay. Come on now.
Well, it's a firsthand statement of her physical
It's an
observation.
it's an out-of-court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted therein, right?
That judge is actually literally having to repeat the textbook definition of inadmissible hearsay for someone who's apparently flunking out of her court. So it's a high bar, as we know, for Donald Trump to remain silent, but maybe he's exercising his right to silence because he sees how hard it is to actually speak the words of any argument in public, let alone under oath, where lying can be criminal, to challenge the fact that he is, yes, the loser of this election. Now, most reporters are not covering these irrelevant cases in depth because they're not big legal or electoral news, just as Trump's supposed election appeal fund doesn't actually fund many election appeals, because of course it doesn't. Now, these cases are dwindling and dying in such an absurd manner. They may not even end, I want to be clear. They may not end just in my cousin Vinny territory. They may end somewhere even more ridiculous, a court film with a fitting nod to the Trump era, Liar, Liar.
Order! Knock it off! Sit down! Mr. Reed, it is out of sheer morbid curiosity I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
Whew. We know the feeling. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.